Happy Thursday, everybody. Meteorologist Greg Majewski back with you here in the North Georgia Majestic Studios with your Talkin Live Weekend Forecast Update Special Edition that'll get you prepared for the entire Memorial Day weekend. Well, I hope you got the umbrellas ready. I know it's supposed to be a holiday weekend, but on the bright side, we do need the rain, and I'm telling you folks, this could be potentially drought-busting precipitation that we could see here if it stays around for as long as it is and if the totals are as promising as they're currently looking. Now, before we get into this full report, if you're new here to the Talkin Live broadcast channel Facebook page, please give us a follow. And if you happen to be watching over on YouTube, hit that subscribe button. But more importantly, make sure you hit that notification bell so you're alerted on all future weather updates just like these. All right, let's go ahead and take a live look there in Chattanooga right now for this morning. We got cloudy skies. We do have some rains in the area. We're recording this early as we've got some work to do down at Fox 5 for today down in Atlanta. And I'll make sure you guys are taken care of for the weekend. I'm taking a 4-day. I need to take a knee a little bit. It'll rest up a little bit so I can stay on top of things. But I'm telling you, folks, the forecast you're going to see here for Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday, Monday, it's pretty much on rinse and repeat. It really is. So cloudy skies. We're not going to see a whole lot of sunshine, folks. We're going to see a lot of skies like this in Helen, Georgia here as well here through the entire weekend. It's just going to be wet, dreary, damp. It won't be raining all the time. But you know the prime hours, especially later in the afternoon. But we're getting some rains out there for this morning. We're seeing that right now as some of this is kind of moving in here from the south coming into the Chattanooga area. So it's going to be a little bit wet and damp across that area. And all across North Georgia and East Tennessee, you're going to see some meaningful rains. I mean, real rains. So the lake levels that have been dropping and been down here. We've been dealing with drought here for months on end. We're really going to take a big dent at this thing over the next several days going into next week. Satellite picture showing some moisture kind of moving in from the west. We got a stationary boundary. Our front is going to kind of stall across the area, kind of wash itself out. And we're going to have a lot of abundant tropical moisture. When you have tropical moisture in place, you get that daytime heating. It's very light, very buoyant, very easy to erupt into showers and storms. Now, the good news is, although we're expecting the rain to move on in here, it's going to keep the temperatures down. So for the most part, we're not going to see any real substantial heat. We'll see mostly lower 80s and 60s here pretty much right into next week. Like I said, a rinse and repeat forecast with high rain chances that don't back off until we get to the middle of next week, and I'll show you that on the 7-day here in just a little bit. The other part of this is a general thunderstorm threat, and folks, this isn't just for today. This is the day one outlook here from the Storm Prediction Center. Not really showing much. There's a day one, but look at day two, look at day three. No changes. So now that is not to say that we might not see an isolated strong thunderstorm or two. You could see some heavy rains. You could see some isolated flash flooding. You could see some lightning, some gusty winds. Those are still going to be in the cards, but not expecting any real organized, big, severe weather, despite the fact we're going to have a lot of rain around. All right. Now let's go ahead and take a look at the forecast model data. We're going to be looking at the high resolution model here first. And it's going to take us into Saturday and into Sunday. So, again, we're just going to see scattered storms just nonstop. Just going to keep coming wave after wave after wave. Looking very high rainy there on your Friday. More storms into your Saturday and going into your Sunday. So, again, just a very wet period here. You can see the moisture flow just continue to rise in out of the Gulf. So as long as this stays in place, and we're going to keep seeing that come up this way, when we get that daytime heating, we're just going to erupt showers and storms. And it'll change a little bit from day to day because there's old boundaries and outflows from the day prior that can influence that a little bit. But it's definitely going to stay on the wet side. So when you look at these rainfall totals, very impressive. A lot of 2-3 inch totals here, taking us right through Sunday afternoon. And this will continue into next week. In fact, when you look at the 10-day total out here, wow, 4, 5, 5 inches plus. I mean, a lot of heavy rains here. And if you were going to take the European model all the way out to the end of its run, well, we're going 6 inches plus. I mean, again, you probably need about 20 inches to beat back the drought. But if this wet weather pattern continues right through June, as it looks like it might, especially since we're getting maybe an influence from El Nino taking effect here, we may be putting an end to the drought. And that's some very good news here across East Tennessee and North Georgia. Although for you guys, for the holiday weekend, you're going to have to dodge some rain. I wish I had some better news on that front. Now, as far as the temperatures are concerned, this is the base. Here's the other part of the story here, which you all pay attention to, is the fact that we're going to see temperatures here on the cooler side because of the rain threat. Okay, that's the big thing there. So as we go into your Friday morning, you're going to see morning lows mostly in the 60s. That'll be pretty much Again, Saturday morning, Sunday morning, Monday morning, same thing all weekend long. And then your daytime highs here will be kind of a mix of 70s and 80s from day to day. No big changes there right through the entire weekend. Like I said, no big changes on that. All right, so let's go look at our forecast maps here. And again, we're going to see a lot of dark green on this map from our friends in the Weather Service because the fact that we're just going to have that high rain chance here. That's going to stick around all weekend. So as we go into your Friday afternoon, obviously you see, like I said, very wet and rainy all across the area right through there. And that's going to stay with us here all weekend. There's Saturdays. There's Sundays. Again, no big changes. There's Mondays. Yeah, you get the gist, right? So high rain chance every day. Goes into Tuesday. Wednesday, I do start to back it off a little bit. I'm bringing it down to about 60%. Now, the dark green is 50% or higher, by the way, but I do bracket it off a little bit there on Wednesday. And going into Thursday, you can see the trend. Okay, maybe we get the chance to dry out a little bit. But I think once we get a lot of good soil moisture out there and daytime heating, I think we're definitely settling into a typical summertime pattern here as we go and get ready to wrap up the month of May and going into June. So forecast, here we go. Friday, if you're hitting the roads, just watch out for some heavy rains. There'll be somewhere around 80, 65 there in Chattanooga for your high-low. And again, most everybody here in the 60s for morning lows. Will have some scattered storms for the evening. They'll die down a little bit, maybe some scattered rain showers overnight. And then you're looking at thunderstorms likely again going into your Friday. A little bit cooler over into the northeast Georgia mountains. Maybe a weak wedge over that way. But generally right around 80 degrees and 70s, a good chance of rain. And a lot of rain chances all across the southeast. So the drier areas will be down towards Savannah and Jacksonville. They're warmer down that way. But Nashville's getting good rain, Jackson. So all the areas across the southeast have been dealing with drought. They're going to get some decent rains here, substantial rains here over the next week. So again, if you're planning on going to the Gulf Coast, you'll see some scattered storms down there. If you're going to the beaches down there in Florida, not as much rain down there, but still you have to dodge it down there as well. All right, here's the next 7 days. Again, high rain chances right through your entire Memorial Day weekend. Like I said, lower 80s, mid 60s, high rain chance every day. That's a pretty easy forecast from my perspective. I do bracket off a little bit, mid 80s toward the middle of next week, and we'll see how it looks beyond that. But for right now, it is wet and dreary. Now, if you want to stay on top of what's going on all weekend, you want to keep a track of that radar. If you do not have a good weather app, this one's one of the best, folks. It's from Barron Services out of Huntsville, Alabama. One of the best weather apps you could have here. Download this at North Georgia Majestic Weather. There's the QR codes there from the Apple Store on top, Google Play on the bottom. And download this. It'll alert you when there's rain in your vicinity. It'll alert you when there's lightning nearby. It'll give you the severe weather alerts, hour-by-hour forecast, as well as a future cast, so you can see where the radar is and where it's projected to go, so you get an idea of where the rain is heading. So again, download this app. Help us build this thing. We got a little over 2,000 downloads on this app. Need to get it to about 10,000 here, so please help us out in this effort. Go ahead and download that app today. North Georgia Majestic Weather. Again, I appreciate you guys checking us out. Again, I'm taking a 4-day. Got to take a knee. I've been working really hard building the channel, as well as doing a lot of filling work for our friends at Fox 5 in Atlanta, because they're down a meteorologist right now. They're supposed to be doing a hire here pretty soon, so I can pack off the amount of days I'm filling in. But I've got a couple more days next week, and I was like, you know what? I need to take a little break. So I'm going to take a 4-day. You guys got your forecast. You know what to expect. It's just going to be wet and dreary all weekend long, unfortunately. It won't be nonstop. There'll be breaks in between, but you're just going to have to plan for that high rain chance every day. All right, again, appreciate you guys checking us out here on the Talkin Live broadcast channel. Please give us a follow, and over on YouTube, hit that subscribe button, and more importantly, make sure you hit that notification bell so you're alerted on all future weather updates. All right, that is your special Memorial Day weekend forecast. You guys take it easy, be good, stay safe, and we'll see you next Tuesday. You guys have a great day. Bye-bye.